In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on June 11, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Miami Marlins versus Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the final game of a 3-game early week series on the diamond in the Steel City as the Miami Marlins travel to the Keystone State to face the Pittsburgh Pirates Wednesday afternoon. These two clubs have now met 5 times this season, with the Marlins holding a 3-2 series lead after taking the first 2 games of this set in Pittsburgh. While neither team has been impressive this year, the Marlins have clearly been the lesser squad. They now face a Pirates team that was playing well, having won 5 of their last 6 games before dropping Tuesday's contest. Pittsburgh has been a .500 team at home this season, and they send Bailey Falter to the mound, who has a solid 3-1 record in his home starts. The Marlins are hitting a respectable .251 on the road, but that hasn't translated into runs, as their 129 runs scored away from home is tied for the 3rd fewest in the National League. Their starter, Cal Quantrill, has been hit hard on the road, allowing 19 earned runs in just 25.1 innings. Despite Tuesday's loss, Pittsburgh has historically handled Miami at home, winning 4 straight before the series began. The Marlins consistently find it difficult to get their offense going, and while they've had slightly more success against left-handed pitchers like Falter, their overall production remains poor. The Pirates did see their 4-game winning streak snapped on Tuesday night, so any momentum they had has been blunted. Even so, this matchup still favors them. Quantrill has a decent track record against the Pirates in his career, but his recent form is a concern, especially after he took a loss against the lowly Rockies in his last start. Falter, on the other hand, has been pitching effectively, particularly at home. While the Pirates can no longer claim to have momentum, they are the better team in this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. Looking at the total, Miami has gone over the number in 35 of its 64 games this season. The Marlins rank 22nd in the majors by scoring 4.05 runs per game, and that number actually increases to 4.3 on the road. This has led to a high average total in Miami's road games, which sits at 10.37 runs. However, much of that is driven by their own poor pitching. On the other side, Pittsburgh has been a strong under team, with the under cashing in 38 of their 67 games. The Pirates' offense is among the worst in baseball, tied for 29th in scoring at just 3.25 runs per game, a number that only slightly improves to 3.39 at home. Their average game total is a low 7.31 runs. When you have 2 offenses that are this anemic, it's hard to expect a shootout. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Cubs versus Philadelphia Phillies. A pair of National League teams play the final game of a 3-game series on the diamond in search of a win in the city of brotherly love when the Chicago Cubs travel to take on the Philadelphia Phillies Wednesday night. We have a busy slate of afternoon baseball on Wednesday, and the matchup between the Chicago Cubs and Philadelphia Phillies stands out. These are 2 of the premier teams in the National League, and they've split the first 2 games of this series, with the Cubs taking Tuesday's contest 8-4. To be perfectly honest, this betting line feels like a trap. I can't figure out why the Phillies are favored, which usually makes me think Vegas is trying to lure us into a mistake. But even with that hesitation, the Cubs appear to be in an excellent position. The Phillies are starting Jesus Luzardo, who has been absolutely shelled in his last 2 outings, giving up a staggering 20 combined runs. While his underlying stuff hasn't looked terrible, those disastrous results have to be weighing on his and his manager's minds. Making matters worse for him, the Cubs lineup boasts the 5th best slugging percentage against left-handed pitching in the league. On the other side, the Cubs will send Ben Brown to the hill. He's had a few rough starts, but he enters this game on the heels of 2 consecutive excellent performances. Factor in that the Phillies are without the big bat of Bryce Harper in the middle of their lineup, and the case for the favored Phillies gets even weaker. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. The history between these two teams strongly suggests we'll see plenty of runs. In their last 10 head-to-head games, the over has cashed 6 times with 2 pushes, indicating a clear trend toward high-scoring affairs. That trend is even more pronounced when they play in Philadelphia, where their last 5 meetings have averaged over 10 total runs per game, including a 12-run total in their most recent battle. Looking at recent form, the Cubs have seen the over go 4-6 in their last 10 games, but they've still managed to score 6 or more runs in 5 of those contests. For the Phillies, the over is 5-4-1 in their last 10, and their pitching has been a major issue, allowing more than 5.5 runs per game during that span. With both teams trending toward higher totals and a pitching matchup that favors the hitters, this game is set up for fireworks. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cincinnati Reds versus Cleveland Guardians. On Wednesday, the Cincinnati Reds will play the final game of a 3-game series on the road at Progressive Field, facing off against their in-state rivals, the Cleveland Guardians, for the last time this season. The Reds have dominated the season series so far and are now in a position to complete a sweep. The pitching matchup features Nick Lodolo for the Reds and Logan Allen for the Guardians. Lodolo has been solid with a 3.22 earned run average and a 4-4 record, but he has been particularly brilliant in away games. In 43.1 innings pitched on the road, Lodolo has been nearly untouchable, allowing just 30 hits and a minuscule 6 earned runs. He consistently pitches deep into games when away from Cincinnati, having completed at least 6 innings in all but one of his road starts. This spells trouble for a Guardians lineup that has been ice cold, batting just .216 over their last 7 games while managing a paltry 17 runs in that stretch. Adding to Cincinnati's advantage, their bullpen is completely fresh after Andrew Abbott delivered a 9-inning complete game the previous night. For the Guardians, Logan Allen takes the mound amidst a rough patch. He has been pulled before completing the 4th inning in 2 of his last 3 starts, and even in his last full outing, he surrendered 4 runs on 7 hits over 6 innings to the Astros. This isn't an ideal time for him to face a Reds offense that seems to be finding its rhythm, batting .260 and averaging 5 runs per game over their last 6 contests. Given that the Guardians haven't scored more than 4 runs in 9 consecutive games, if the Reds can just hit their recent average, they should be in a great position to win. While there's always a case to be made for a home team, I can't back the Guardians against a quality lefty like Lodolo, who has been so reliable on the road. The Guardians were shut down by Andrew Abbott on Tuesday, and it's likely they'll struggle again. I'm siding with Lodolo and the rested Cincinnati bullpen to secure the sweep. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cincinnati Reds money line is our full game side pick. While both starting pitchers do not have the best earned run averages, the trends strongly suggest a low-scoring game. The total has gone under in 13 of Cincinnati's last 19 road games, a pattern that holds true when they visit Cleveland, with the under hitting in 4 of their last 6 matchups here. The Guardians have also been an under machine recently, with the total staying below the number in 6 of their last 8 games. Most tellingly, the head-to-head history is overwhelmingly in favor of the under, which has cashed in 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two Ohio clubs. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Braves versus Milwaukee Brewers. On Wednesday, the Atlanta Braves will face the Milwaukee Brewers at American Family Field. The Brewers find themselves right where most people figured they would be at this point in the season, while the Braves have been one of baseball's bigger disappointments. Milwaukee starter Patrick has been quite solid over his last 4 starts, including his most recent outing where he gave up just 1 run, only to get 0 help from his offense. That shouldn't be a problem in this series finale against Schwellenbach, who has been getting hit hard lately. He gave up 4 runs in his last start and has allowed that same number in 3 of his last 4 games. While Schwellenbach's season-long numbers look decent with a 3.24 earned run average and 1.05 WHIP, the Braves as a team have only managed to win 3 games since May 25th, making it tough to have any faith in them, regardless of who is on the mound. Patrick has been dealing in his rookie campaign, allowing only 40 hits and 15 runs in his last 44 innings. At home, he's been even better, posting a 2.25 earned run average and holding batters to a .217 average over 44 innings. He also keeps the ball in the park, having given up just 3 homers in his last 48.1 innings. The Brewers have the clear edge on the mound and are simply playing better baseball right now. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. Several key betting trends point toward a low-scoring game. The under is 7-4 when the Brewers are underdogs at home and an impressive 32-16-5 when the Braves are playing with no days off. Furthermore, the under has cashed in 29 of Atlanta's 50 games against National League opponents and 19 of Milwaukee's 34 contests. Within the National League, you can expect Schwellenbach and Patrick to battle each other for the first 4 or 5 innings, keeping these offenses mostly quiet. Their advanced numbers support this, with the Braves righty holding a 3.69 expected earned run average and the Brewers rookie sporting a similar 3.64 expected earned run average. I anticipate Atlanta's pitcher will go deep into this game, getting a lot of easy outs by inducing weak ground balls. Patrick might not last quite as long as his counterpart, but he has the luxury of being backed by a Milwaukee bullpen that has been improving lately, ranking 12th in earned run average over the last 2 weeks. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals host the Toronto Blue Jays in the final game of a 3-game set early on Wednesday, with both teams looking to build momentum in their respective division races. Liberator has struggled recently after a strong start to the year, giving up 11 earned runs in his last 2 outings. He is coming up against a team that loves facing lefties. The Blue Jays team OPS versus Southpaws is .773, ranking 5th in MLB this year. The Cardinals have a terrible record coming up against Toronto. They have lost all of the last 4 games between these teams and are 4-7 going back to the start of 2022. I understand why St. Louis is favored at home with Matthew Liberator on the mound, but the Blue Jays have a much better chance to win than the odds suggest. Liberator is coming off back-to-back poor starts in which the Cardinals lost 11-1 to the Rangers on the road and 7-5 to the Royals at home. He allowed 12 runs over 9 innings in those 2 outings. This recent regression raises concerns that Liberator may not be fully healthy. With a stronger bullpen and one of the more well-rounded lineups in the American League, I have to back Toronto to pull off the upset. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. The Toronto starter, Eric Lauer, is hard to trust in this matchup, and as mentioned, I have concerns about Liberator's recent form. The Cardinals' bullpen behind him has also been less than stellar. The trends also support a higher scoring game, each of the last 5 Blue Jays contests, and 6 of the last 8 Cardinals games have featured at least 9 total runs. The Blue Jays have been involved in a lot of high-scoring games lately, and I believe that will continue on Wednesday, thanks to Toronto's success against left-handed pitching. The Blue Jays have gone 10-1 on the over in their last 11 games and 36-29-1 overall this season. St. Louis has an over-under record of 19-13-2 in 2025 when playing at Busch Stadium. In their last 12 games, they have gone 9-3 on the over. Over its last 13 games, Toronto has scored 74 runs, an average of 5.69 per game. If it keeps up that trend and can get to Liberator, this matchup has a great chance of landing on the over. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.